Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? Happy Thursday evening to all of you. This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live tonight for my preview and predictions for WWE's Clash in Paris 2025. I know I don't have the setup like I did for SummerSlam. There will be that setup again, though, come for the review on Sunday, or Monday, whenever I get to review Clash in Paris. So I will have that there. I also, first off, besides the fact that I was very tired last night and I didn't really get to sit down and make the graphics, and I just, again, I gotta be honest, I continue to ask this: where is your head right now as far as wrestling goes? Because I'm not gonna lie, ever since SummerSlam, I just haven't quite, really had the passion for it. I don't know where a lot of these storylines are going. I don't know what payoffs to really trust. Because, again, although SummerSlam was a fine show, it just let me just kind of go like, what are we doing? Again, I don't know if it's because of the disappointment of the Cena heel run ending or what it is, but again, my passion the past month for wrestling just hasn't quite been there. And to be honest, I mean, I also know because now the whole WrestlePalooza, they're going to be starting the ESPN subscription thing at WrestlePalooza. So, this is the last pay-per-view on Peacock, as far as I know. And I just really don't know what the future holds for wrestling. Or, where we're going. So, my excitement for this pay-per-view is kind of low. I think it'll be a fine show. The matches will be solid. But it's probably going to be a show where the crowd's going to probably be the biggest part of the show. They're going to be energetic and into it. And the matches are going to be fine. Except for one. Also, again, I don't know if even the final card is set. There is one match I'm thinking they could add to the show. Or they may be waiting for WrestlePalooza for it as well. So, I don't think I'm going to be here for super duper long. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on wrestling right now as a whole? Where do you guys, stand as far as excitement for Clash in Paris? Or other things going on right now? Did you watch AEW Forbidden Door? I didn't, although I still might check out the Lights Out Steel Cage match. I may, I don't know. But other than that, I have no interest in that show. I have no interest in All Out right now. WrestlePalooza, we'll have to wait and see. But, again, we'll have to see where this things go. Maybe I'll get that excitement back. Because again, right now it's just not there. I'm not that excited about wrestling right now, if I'm being honest. Henceforth, also why it's kind of been hurting my content lately. Even though I'm still, getting my groove back after July was a slow month, and getting some things going. I have been doing some more editing on the Best and Worst Match series, so again, hopefully stuff like that starts coming through. I just gotta keep myself motivated and going right now. And not distract myself by everything else going on around me right now. But yes, let's talk about Clash in Paris, get my preview. Again, second place is coming Sunday, August 31st, 2025. I believe it's called where is it called in Paris? It's called the Paris La Défense Arena, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. In Paris, France. This is where the show is going to be taking place. Again, I have low expectations. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting it to be no more than just a solid, glorified house show. That's my expectations for Clash in Paris. Matches could be fine. Again, one I'm not excited for. I'll probably rant on that a little bit. And again, we'll see, of course, if the final card is, in fact, structured. But we'll check our live chat real quick before we go anywhere. And we got Tyler, as always. Thank you, Tyler. He says, "Hi, Mike. Hopes Becky and Cena win their matches. I have 1 out of 2 of those predicted to win." We'll get to that in a second. I don't know where it's going now. Again, I don't either. Why can't the men's IC title match on here to make 6 matches? I thought they would because of how popular Sabbath, get down. Because of how popular AJ Styles was in Paris the last time when we were in Lyon, France last year. I thought they would put him on a show. I guess they're still going to be in Paris or in France on Raw on Monday, so they're doing the match on Monday instead. But yeah, I thought that was going to be a match. And honestly, I kind of hope AJ wins. Nothing against Dom. Dom's doing great with the IC title, but I still think they should have AJ win the IC title. And one of Cena's last matches, since they had, a good series of matches, should be him and AJ Styles for the men's Intercontinental title. Because again, Cena has still never won the Intercontinental title in his career, so you would think they want to make him a Grand Slam champion. But does that matter much to Cena? Who knows? And he still does not care for AEW. Again, I don't really either, but I still watch Dynamite every week, but that's all. But yeah, that's all we got in the live chat right now. If anybody else wants to join us, cool. If not, we're going to get rolling and just get our predictions out there. So, there's 5 matches made official so far for Clash in Paris. I think if they do add a 6th one, it could be Cody and Drew for the Undisputed World title. As they've, of course, clearly set up on SmackDown recently. Even though the story is just very bland, basically. It was I attacked Cody, so he attacked me first, so I hit him back or whatnot. Kind of bland, to be honest, and they could do a lot more with that. They could be saving this for WrestlePalooza, but they could also still do the Clash in Paris. They could set it up on SmackDown tomorrow night. We'll have to wait and see. If it does happen, Cody's winning. I'm going with very, predictable outcomes for this pay-per-view, since these payoffs aren't really panning out much lately. So that's where I'm kind of, setting the standards right here. If they do that match, Cody's winning. I would like for Drew to win, to be honest, because I think Drew should get a good, decent world title reign with the great work he's done as a heel, especially since the feud with him and Punk as well from last year. But I don't know, where the story's going to go for Drew. I heard they did move him over to SmackDown because they wanted him to be in the main event scene. Now he's here. It's maybe give him some time with it. I don't know. But we'll see. Again, I think either way, Cody's winning it. Unless they want to swerve us and give it to Drew. But I'm not getting my hopes up. I would like to see Drew get the world title again in this heel role. But Cody's probably keeping it right now. We'll see, of course, where we go with that. Because I'm pretty sure if they do the Crown Jewel Championship at Crown Jewel, it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Which is the right match to go with at this point, to be honest. So there's that. There's that if it happens. For the actual card, if it sticks to just the 5 matches, I think we're going to lead off the show with Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. A solid match to do. I would love to think it's a match to further elevate Bronson Reed. Honestly, if I really wanted to do it so, I would really like to see Bronson Reed get this victory. It'd be a big victory over Roman Reigns. But I feel like this is just a throwaway match to get Roman on the card, and I think Roman's going to win it. Although I think Roman's going to win, but I think they're going to further tease Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker, and probably do that at WrestlePalooza. I don't see if they're going head to head with All Out, I don't see them not trying to get Roman Reigns on the card. So I think we will get that match at WrestlePalooza, but I think this match will kind of have a tease to set it up. I would definitely rather see Braun Breaker get a pin over Roman than Bronson. Although both gain a win over Roman would be nice. But I don't see them giving Bronson the win over Roman, sadly. It still feels like right now, unless they added another member, Bronson Reed feels like he's just in this group right now to eat the pins. I mean, is he benefiting from it? Kind of, yeah. But I don't know. I just still wish that he would get like a serious, shot as well, because it doesn't feel like they're giving him as serious of a direction as Braun Breaker. But whatever. The tribal chief will be the tribal thief, the one with the shulafala, if you know what I mean. So that's a match I have leading off the show if they don't do Cody and Drew. But that's the first match I think going to happen there. Second match is a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match between Sheamus and Rusev. Not gonna lie, this Sheamus and Rusev feud, although it's had a series of good matches, it feels like a feud that didn't get out of first gear. And it's kind of like been staying in the same spot for a while. Like when they had that match on Raw a few weeks ago. And it ended in a double countout because Sheamus was just gradually hitting Rusev with the 10 beats of the Balladro. That's why I was kind of like, okay, what are we doing with this? Like, honestly, if Rusev's not going to win the feud, like, okay, it's been a fun series of matches, but what has this really done for either one of them, if I'm being honest? It just feels like they're just fighting each other because they have good chemistry. Which they do, don't get me wrong. But, I'm going to repeat again what I said months ago when there was rumors of Rusev coming back to WWE. I'm still definitely concerned about him still being here. Because although he's definitely getting more TV time than he was in AEW, I just don't know if there's room for him in the spot he should be in WWE. So far, I'm still worried that there's really not that spot. And he's only going to go so far again. But maybe they'll prove me wrong with that. I think Rusev, though, should get this victory right there. Sheamus doesn't need it. Rusev could really use this victory to really, get his jets going again, I think. It'll be good. It'll definitely be hard-hitting and whatnot. And definitely, like, the type of match I want to see them have a stipulation for it. Maybe one too many matches. Again, they could have maybe not done the third match and just kept the rubber match for this show. But it's whatever at this point. Rusev, I think, again, should beat Sheamus. So that's my second prediction right there. Third, I think we'll do the world title match. I do think John Cena and Logan Paul is closing out the show. It's a fatal four-way between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, L.A. Knight, who, again, it sounds like he is officially on Raw. They're making it seem like that him and Sami Zayn switching brands was a trade, so at least that's making some sense for the brand split. And also that they're giving allowing LA Knight more opportunities in the main event scene, as he should be fighting for the world title at this point. And Jey Uso, of course, as well. Again, this will be a fun fatal four-way match. All four of these guys have a history with each other, so it'll definitely be very interesting. You see, when all these people collide. I'm thinking afterwards we probably will be getting a feud maybe with CM Punk and LA Knight. I think that should be focused after this. Yeah. Who's Seth Rollins fights? Eventually he's going to be fighting Roman. I don't know if they'll wait till WrestleMania next year or if they'll just have the match sooner. But it's a match going to do down the line. But I think Seth's going to retain. I don't see him dropping the title yet. And I feel like this is where they should also introduce, especially if the odds are against them, rather than, this is me, going a little bit higher on expectations. Rather than having just Braun and Bronson interfere again, why not introduce another member of the Vision? I don't know when Austin Theory's coming back, but I wouldn't mind if they wanted to put Austin Theory in this group, because Austin Theory was once supposed to be in one of Seth Rollins' disciples back in 2020 when Seth was the Monday Night Messiah. So I keep thinking that, I'm just like, when they bring Austin Theory back, whenever he comes back, could be here, who knows? Again, why not put him in this group? Or, I don't know, maybe someone from NXT? Ethan Page's been rumored to be called up? I don't know. But maybe introduce somebody new to the group. But again, expectations, not going to be super high. But either way, I think Seth Rollins does retain right here. I don't think he's going to drop the title yet to any of these guys. Even though I would be okay with it, but not yet, to be honest. But, But oh wow, Kyle Schwarber had a four homer game for the Phillies. Sick. He'll get the 50 homers this year probably for the first time in his career. Nice. All right, now it's time for Rant time. Stretching out here. A match that I am not excited for whatsoever, and I absolutely hate it. And it really stamped the approval of the hatred, to be honest, after the segment they had this past Monday night on Raw. And I am just like, I am so done with this, and I'm so sick of it. We're having the Women's Intercontinental Championship be defended again on pay-per-view, instead of course, the Women's World Championship. Because how many times have been defended on pay-per-view since WrestleMania? Besides Evolution and SummerSlam? Yeah. So first off, again, that's my problem, is I don't mind them putting prestige on these women's mid-card titles. I mean, they've definitely done it with the IC title because they've had Becky Lynch and, of course, their favorite that they want to make a big star so bad, Lyra Valkyria of the title. The U.S. title for the women has kind of been on the back burner. And still have, like, the women's world titles. Has Tiffany Stratton even defended the title pay-per-view besides Evolution since WrestleMania? I honestly don't think so. But the women's Intercontinental title has been defended on every single pay-per-view since WrestleMania. And that bothers me. Especially also since Stephanie Vaquer did earn herself a title opportunity at Clash in Paris back at Evolution. And I get it, the Naomi pregnancy happened and whatnot, I get that. But here's my thing also. You found out about that, 3 or 4 weeks ago? How do you still not have a concrete plan for that? You know, like, I don't understand, like, you know, like, why does it feel like that they're not putting, you know, the attention on these women's world titles that they should be, but this women's IC title is getting so much attention. No offense to Becky. But especially also, if you're wasting a match with Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. Who the heck asked for Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella? First off, since Nikki Bella's been back, has she won a match? I cannot remember if Nikki Bella's won a match since she's come back. So why is she fighting for a championship if she hasn't even won a match since being back? Second off, this story they're doing in these promos. The only thing Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella have been able to do in the story is just cuss each other out. And just try to get, like, you know, some cheap, like, you know, zingers in on each other. Because they know everything else is not working. Again, if Nikki Bella wanted to come back and have one last run, fine. But when you're coming back, and you're obviously not a pioneer of women's wrestling, you're being shoved down our throats as someone who paved the way for these women, when any of these women would have wiped the floor with Nikki Bella if they would have been wrestling during her time. Yes, I get it, they weren't given the opportunities, but still. What also bugs me is, wasn't Nikki's character at the time when the whole Give Divas a Chance hashtag was trending? Wasn't their character going against that whole concept? So why are we having people like Io Sky and all these other women having Nikki Bella saying she paved the way for them? Honestly, if they really wanted this to work for Nikki Bella, what you should say is, because she said occasionally, like, you know, in promos, like, I wanted to come back and, you know, be a part of this era's competition or whatnot. It's something like that she said. Okay, fine. But tell the story more so of, like, you know, this has improved since I've left. I want to see if I can hang with it, rather than, oh, I paved the way for this. That's, again, annoying, because we all know it's not true. We all know Nikki Bella is a great reality star, but wrestler, she had a Divas Championship reign of 300 days out of spite. They only did that just so she can erase AJ Lee's record. Again, Nikki Bella did not pave the way for today's women's evolution. And that's what bothers me so much about the storyline, that they're forcing Becky on us as the heel, which again, don't get me wrong, I've liked this heel version of Becky, but again, Nikki Bella being pushed down our throats as like this person that we're here with because of her is not the case. So that's why I even hate this match even more, because the fact that they're pushing that on us. So again, they better not take the title off of Becky and put on Nikki Bella. They better not give this title to Nikki Bella. This feels like literally a throwaway match. Again, I would rather have had this match on Raw. Do it on Raw instead. Instead, we're wasting at Clash in Paris, not giving Stephanie Vaquer her title shot. Really? Like, yeah, not the biggest fan of that match. So, Becky's winning that match. And then the main event right now, I'm predicting it's going to be the John Cena Logan Paul match. Again, I understand why they're doing this match. I feel a little bit better about it, knowing that Logan Paul or Brock Lesnar aren't going to be John Cena's last opponents, as far as I know. It doesn't look like it's that way. So, again, my opinion on this is different because of that. I am fine with them doing this match if they're going to give Cena the rightful opponents before he leaves in a few months. So, where is this going to go, though? Who's going to win the match? Well, you would think they'd give John Cena a few more wins, right? I don't think he's winning this one. I would like to predict it, but on SmackDown last week, at the end of the show, we had Nick Aldis trying to tell John Cena that he got in touch with Brock Lesnar. And, of course, Logan was able to knock him out before Cena got to hear what he had to say. So, you obviously know that the main event of WrestlePalooza is going to be John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Again, not really that excited for that match either. But, so John Cena versus Brock Lesnar is going to be the main event of WrestlePalooza. Simple prediction right here is going to be Logan Paul is going to win this match because Brock Lesnar is going to interfere and cost John Cena. That's really the only way I see this match ending. I don't see Cena being Logan Paul clean, to be honest. It'd be nice, but Cena's not being Logan Paul, sadly. Again, Brock Lesnar's lurking. Cena's going to be losing because of Brock. And that's the Clash in Paris. Again, does that really sound that exciting? Not really. Will be good matches, yes, but just nothing like, no water cooler moments to really have us like talking. Like, again, you could get something like Seth Rollins getting a new member to the Division to help him win his match or something. Or have Bronson Reed have a big upset by beating Roman Reigns. Or something else. But it just, again, I just can't trust that the payoffs are going to be worth it right now. Because they haven't been that good lately, if I'm being honest. So, we'll see what happens at Clash of Paris. Again, my predictions are, again, if it happens, Cody will beat Drew if they have a match. Roman Reigns is going to beat Bronson Reed. Rusev beats Sheamus. Seth Rollins will retain the world title thanks to a new member of the Division. Becky Lynch better beat Nikki Bella for that women's IC title. And Logan Paul will beat John Cena thanks to interference from Brock Lesnar. And that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Checking the live chat before we go off the air here. Tyler says he stopped watching AEW when Jericho won the Ring of Honor title. I was done. Was it the first time or the second time he won the Ring of Honor title? I think it's going to be Team Roman versus Seth's group in War Games at Survivor Series. Cool with me. Becky should be in the women's world title scene right now. Feels like it with how many matches she's gotten since coming back on pay-per-view. I pretty much agree with that. Fire Logan Paul, I wish, but they're not going to. And what was the point of the Women's Battle Royal Evolution? Again, they were supposed to have the match, but again, I get Naomi, getting pregnant and whatnot. But like I said, you had like 3 or 4 weeks to figure something out. So I find that unacceptable, for sure. And the second time that Jericho won the IC title again. Oh yeah, when he beat Mark Briscoe, was it at Wrestle Dream last year? Yeah, that might have been when it was, maybe. But thank you, as always, Tyler, for the support, guys. Again, I'm going to sign off here. Again, leave you guys your thoughts down in the comment section below. Where are you guys at as far as your wrestling fandom right now? Do you have any excitement for Clash in Paris? You think the show will blow us away? Or everything else going on with wrestling? What do you guys think? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on wrestling right now and Clash in Paris. Leave your guys' thoughts again down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. And as always, you can also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at the Club of the Man 93. Until then, guys, so checking out. I'll catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night, and do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!